Wrestling fans around the corner, around from Sin City. Look at that view we have behind us. It's so kind to sell. We are doing Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We have Kevin Sullivan 8x10s. We're trying to get the #1 fanatic who is busy preparing for a monster concert this weekend at Merrimack College, but this fan. We want to make it stay dry. Like we've already done 3 great episodes. We're going to do one before our trip here is out.
Friends.
Florida?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. And I used to go to Texas some out of Florida. He was Percy Pringle then.
Yep. We have 3 great fans. Well, we have someone named Din fan, but let's show you these beautiful photos, folks. I'm going to put the link up in a minute. We have Kevin Sullivan in the yellow robe looking evil, devious. We have a Monday Night Wars era Kevin Sullivan with the Dungeon of Doom headed into that uncensored 1996. We'll be kind and call it a pay-per-view. And then we have, look at a classic black and white, baby. Kevin Sullivan in the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom. I enjoyed sitting with Paul Ellering last night for dinner at the Bologna Blowout here at the Cauliflower Alley Club. If you're not a member of the Cauliflower Alley Club fans, shame on you. We have a heck of a lot of fun here every year. It took 2 years for us to have a reunion, or a year and a half to have a reunion because of COVID, but we're here. And I'm going to give you the link. You can get these pictures. I know it says D'Lo Brown, but all you have to do is just order in the order that is on the screen, and you'll be good to go. So get those orders in. Get yourself a Kevin Sullivan 8x10 fans. Kevin is a very busy man. Just to be able to get him to come in and do the interviews is fantastic. And we've had a lot of fun. Again, a man I have known since the early 90s. Hell of a guy. One of the great creative minds in wrestling. A career that goes all the way back to, what year did you say you broke in? 70?
1970.
Unbelievable. So you're talking, this is your 6th decade in wrestling. Can you believe that?
No.
And you're still going strong.
I wouldn't.
You'll still get into the squared circle, if I'm not mistaken. How rare of an occasion is that?
That's very rare.
In enjoying life, no more Boston,
No.
no more Key West,
No.
out in a remote part of Washington State.
Yeah, on the San Juan Islands.
And you love it.
I love it.
Mrs. Sullivan took you on a journey you probably weren't expecting.
Exactly.
Did you ever think you'd wind up in Washington State?
I didn't even know where it was.
Well, at least it's an American League city.
Yeah.
So you get the Red Sox a couple of times a year. Once a year. Yeah, usually once a year. But I mean, what a nice view. You know, I don't think fans, I know the first time I came to Vegas, I didn't expect you to be those big mountains back there. But that's just me. Now, it looks like there's a dead bird on the windowsill. Is that a dead bird?
That is a dead bird. It died right when I came in.
Yeah.
It crashed right into the window.
Either that or it wanted to come and listen to Kevin's interview. So
It really did.
Kevin, you popped the house. You killed a bird. But I mean, let's talk about some memories of these great pictures here, fans. You got the Road Warriors.
That was,
Two great. Isn't it such sad that neither one of Joe and Mike are no longer with us?
yeah.
Joe is going to be on it tonight with Paul, the Road Warriors. Joe is going to be on our Back to the 80s event we had planned before COVID, and just like Paul Orndorff was as well. And it's crazy how this industry, we lose our brothers
Quickly.
quickly. That's why to me, the Cauliflower Alley Club is so important, you know, for the guys to get together, reminisce. And, you know, it's like Holly Race used to say, I never know who's not going to be around the next year.
That's so
And now
true.
Holly's not even with us.
Yeah, that's so true.
How long have you been involved in the CAC?
This is my 3rd time.
3rd time coming? I remember the first time we were both scoffing at the Red Sox signing Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, thank you, sir. You are great. Mr. Wonderful, can you ask Kevin about how he feels about the SWE Fury shutdown situation?
I'm in the dark as much as you guys are. They sent out a email that said they're reorganizing, but they'll be back up and running.
What is that? Is that an independent motion or?
They had TV in
Oh,
Texas,
wow.
and they were doing quite well.
Was that the one that Teddy Long was involved in?
That's it.
Okay, I remember. I'm familiar with it at least now. And what about this picture? Look at some of the luminaries from the Dungeon of Doom era, or error, maybe.
For me, it was an error.
Did you put all this together yourself, or was there input from others?
It was for me to bring Hogan's friends into one match.
Now, who? I know we got Zeus,
Yeah.
who's passed, Double A, Mean Gene, yourself, Barbarian, who comes to the CAC from time to time, Jimmy Hart. Who was this guy?
That was Jeep Swenson.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that name. Was he a Canadian guy?
No,
No? Where
No.
was Jeep Swenson from?
Texas.
Well, that was close.
Yeah.
You know, Canada,
He
Texas,
played
they're
in
right next to
the
each other.
in that Batman movie with Arnold. He was Mr. Freeze.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. And this pretty much was his claim to fame, that main evented uncensored.
No, Gary Hart
No?
used him really good in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah.
I must admit, was that after World Class?
No, during World Class.
I don't remember him during World Class. Yeah. Well, we do these shows, and again, talk about feeling evil and devious. I mean, this Kevin Sullivan at his best. Just looking, just the look. You know what I mean? Sometimes the emotions that you can get over with facials.
Yeah.
And the art of selling that is lost nowadays. I don't want to go down that route. but
No.
Isn't selling a great thing when you actually have moves and
Yeah.
mean something?
I still
You emote.
I still see Puggy Morton's out there. And he was at a SWE Fury match 2 shows ago,
Mhm.
and he's still incredible.
Now, with this promotion, were you wrestling? What kind of a role did you have?
I was commentating. I was helping
Oh,
Teddy.
okay.
Yeah, it was on fire there for a while.
All right. Cam. Oh, what a funny name. Cam L. Toes. Do you remember Tommy Rich getting his head shaved at the Cobb County Civic Center? I was a kid at that show.
Yeah, I do. Tommy was the hottest thing in wrestling at one time.
Just ask Jim Barnett. Again, folks, the 8x10s are on sale now. We have 3 beautiful options for you to pick from. Plus, Kevin has been kind enough to assist in what we've, if he shows up too, tomorrow. What did you think of Papa Shango? Were you familiar with that body of work at all?
Yeah,
or no?
I enjoyed it.
I did too, and he hates it. He hated doing it. I thought it was I thought maybe they went a little too far when they did the thing with the ooze.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior's mouth. But what a just a scary character, you know?
And he was big. I mean, he was
He's
really
a big bear, is a
Yeah,
big guy.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a big guy.
He's really big. And he pulled that off pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His thing was he could, at times when business was down, he could make just as much money here running the gentleman's club, as we'll call it. So
Yeah.
why not be home with the wife and kids instead of being on the road making the same money?
Right.
Made
Right.
sense. And Hall of Fame now in WWE. When do you think you're going to get your call?
No time soon.
Why is that?
I think because I'd never worked for Junior.
Well, they put Rock and Roll
Okay.
Express in,
Yeah.
and they put DDP. Well, DDP had a short cup of coffee with them, but
Right.
I think I hope it doesn't get to that point where I don't know if you're familiar with, but they do they have a small group each year that they put in almost like a legacy
Yeah.
class of people that have passed.
Right.
Hopefully, that's not what they do. I think that's what's going to happen with Bill Eadie and Barry Dasso if they decide to do it.
Yeah.
And I think they're the greatest tag team in their company's history.
I do too.
I don't know if you know this. You want to know one of the great things I think I've ever done in wrestling? Those two stopped talking for 17 years when Bill left after Survivor Series 90 because he saw the writing on the wall that they were basically going to job demolition out now that they had LOD and Smash, Barry, and Crush was new to it. So what input would he really have?
Right.
But they disagreed and they just until 2007, they didn't speak, but the morning of WrestleMania 23 in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, it was one of those reunion types, and the people asked me to help get them this one and that one. And I had been on the manhunt for Barry for 3 years to try and get him. He just wanted nothing to do with the industry. He wound up opening up his own little print shop, and they made shirts and protective helmets for construction. And he was just in a remote little part of Minnesota, just enjoying life that had nothing to do with the squared circle. But I finally got the number, and I chit-chatted with him, and he realized, okay, this isn't a guy that's trying to screw with me or bullshit with me. He's a decent human being. And then him and Bill got back together again, and now they wrote a couple of times a month, get nice paydays.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't get one cent. That's kindness, fans. That's someone that loved demolition. Let's take a look at the feed. We don't have a heck of a lot of time, fans. Not to be confused with Alex Fan. Again, I want to thank the great group of folks that have helped us this week. Because, Kevin, you're smart enough to know as a guy that's produced television, if you don't have those bodies that are helping you make the in-ring or the interviews come to life, there's nothing. There's nothing.
They're unsung heroes.
We made a nice little video. We'll tease the fans for our 20th anniversary. And I wanted to go out of my way to make sure that all of those people were acknowledged and thanked because they deserve it. Because, again, without them, we wouldn't have those shows. I can't set up a ring the day of the show.
Right.
I can't sit there and take the tickets and sell popcorn and sell T-shirts and help autograph photos and pose photos and deal with the ring, deal with the police detail, deal with the venue, deal with the actual wrestlers, deal with the how much that goes into it, playing the music, setting the video feeds up. I mean, it really is a team, and it, when it's done right, it should be almost like a small little family.
It should be.
So I'm very lucky to have the folks I have here with us here in Vegas, and both relative newcomers, both 2021 signees to the company. We have Captain Lou over there sitting on the couch, very active, doing nothing. And we have Alex Din Fan here enjoying the Cauliflower Rally Club. But back at the studio, we have so many great guys that pitch in and help when we have the different stars in for the appearances and then the live events. And I just feel lucky to have them around.
Yeah.
Because I know without good help, we'd be in a bad place. Yeah. And we're trying. Vaughn, how are you, my friend? I haven't seen you in quite a bit. Yes, I understand that the D-Lo's name is on there, but if you order whatever option you order for Kevin that comes up as D-Lo is the one you get. And I will show them off again. We have this beautiful, let me see, where's the camera? No, that's not it. The beautiful yellow-robed Kevin Sullivan. That's photo number 1. If you want photo number 2, if you want is that photo number 2? Let's see how good my memory is. I think so. Cauliflower Rally Club logo at the top of the page if you want to join. This beautiful classic black and white Kevin battling Hawk and Animal, the Legion of Doom. Like I said, I had such a great talk with Paul Ellering last night. I'd love to have him on the show. And then we have this 1996 WCW Uncensored Dungeon of Doom photo. Now, once FanFest get alive and kicking again, you can get this signed not only by you, but by Jimmy Hart, Barbarian, Double A. I think he's passed. Yeah, he's passed. And I know Zeus and obviously Mean Gene have passed. But, 4 great signatures you can get on one picture. We have about 10 minutes left, folks. This was kind of a rush job as we were really producing some great content for you guys to enjoy fall, even into the winter. We're hoping that as Kevin is around, how many times a year do you get to Boston, Kevin?
2 or 3.
Well, I think we have to figure it out more. Every time you come to Boston, we figure out a time to get you to come to the studio.
I'd love to.
Help you, even helps cover the plane tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always good to have friends. For you guys that don't know, I don't know if I'd call it a relationship, but my interactions with Kevin began all the way back in 1994 when he came to work for the late, great Boston bad boy Tony Rumble. I had so much respect for this man. Oh, Vaughn, okay, you ordered The number 2, the black and white. Vaughn, how would you like it personalized? Would you like it to be made out to you? Would you like it to be made out to a friend? Do you want an inscription? How would you like it made out? Do you have a color? We have gold, silver, purple. You tell us what you want, Vaughn. We want a smile from ear to ear as this comes back in my personal carry-on bag, and I will mail it to you with love. Not just mail it, Kevin. Mail it with love. Let me just make sure the order goes through, and then Vaughn can tell us how we should personalize it. Vaughn, another great help, one of our great moderators. There it is. I think this is it. The Wi-Fi in this hotel is not so good. We tried to even pay for the premium, and my technical expert over here could not get it the way it should be. So welcome to the Gold Coast Casino, folks. So Vaughn, we're just waiting on you. You tell us how you want it made out. Lazy Bum, how are you? Slick Rick, how are you, my friend? We have so many regulars, Kevin, that pop in and out of here that you're going to get to know. Hetty did. I'm not familiar with Hetty, but Hetty, welcome. Yeah, Slick Rick B made a good point. I have Abdullah the Butcher. He got his Hall of Fame ring from WWE, and he never worked for Vince Jr.
Yeah.
And then he sold the ring for $20,000. You know what a hustler Shreve can be.
Yes.
Oh, my God. He'd want them to pay him to show me the bologna sandwich at this place. Go ahead and make it out to Jade. Okay. She said she loves Kevin's time as the game smasher. What do you recall being the game smasher?
Master.
I remember the Taskmaster.
And I was the games master also.
All right, so they'd like this one made out to Jade. Jade, hold it up, Jade. I'm sorry, Vaughn, if you want to take a screenshot and send it to Jade. We appreciate you so much. All right, let's show that. We're going to definitely let it dry because that's like a paint type pen. But look at that. Is that not a keeper? Is that not one for the wrestling cave or a beautiful binder or however you store your stuff? Lazy Bum Dan, how are you doing? Hope everything is well with you. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada with Kevin Sullivan at the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. How much worse could I be doing? Vaughn, do you like how that came out? Could you put that over in a private place to make sure it doesn't get mixed up? Thank you, sir. Jade's got a whole wall of wrestle stuff. Okay, it'll look great with everything else she's got. Well, you know what, Vaughn? We aim to please, so the picture came out good. Again, folks, we have about 7 minutes before we got to go. We're going to do one more episode with Kevin, but that's to be viewed later on down the road. But I think you guys are going to absolutely love what we produced. Did you have fun, Kevin, or no?
I had a great time.
Or are you just anxious to get out of here?
No, I had a great time.
Isn't it nice, though, to reconnect? And that's what this Cauliflower Alley Club is all about. Not that I'm sure I haven't made a great impression in your life, but you certainly made one in mine when you would come in and work for Tony. And things that I still carry on in my brain today that I try and, include in the presentations that we have, whether they be the talk shows, whether they be the live wrestling events. So, it just shows the impression that you can make in this industry on someone, and you don't even know it. And that, like you said, your Tony Rumble debut would have been 27 years ago.
Wow.
And I'm still remembering the things that I heard in this ear. And like I mentioned, when Quinette would come in, the things I'd hear in this ear. Anyone else in the room? Oh, someone wants to play King Curtis Ayakea. Sullivan, my son. But we are running out of time. Kevin has a very important meeting, which is why we're breaking up the taping schedule. If you want a picture, let us know. Kevin is going to be one of the ambassadors of our Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, which is a really cool thing. I didn't even know they had a relationship where they never really crossed paths in WWE, but that's why those territory days, it's a great thing that tapes exist, I guess, right? Or I've never even seen it. But and Dutch was down there around that same time, wasn't he? Because I think he said he came up with the idea for Percy Pringle to be part of like the potato chip family dynasty. Was Dutch a good mind for the business, in your opinion?
Yeah. Very good.
Did you guys get a chance to ever make some magic together, or were you in different places at different times?
We worked in Atlanta some, we worked in Memphis some, and worked in Florida some.
Well, we're going to be seeing Dutch very soon when he is with us as part of Wrestle House 2, the first week in December in Tampa, Florida. Again, 4 minutes, folks. Wait a minute. What's there? Oh, you're on the clock right now, Vaughn? You better get back to work. Get out of here, kiddo. We don't want you in trouble with your boss. Phil, if Kevin makes it back to Massachusetts, he's got to go to the Woo Sox. Oh, yes. Are you familiar with the Woo Sox?
Yeah, I am.
I've heard that. Well, our friend Phil here, one of our moderators, is a huge Woo Sox fan. He lives pretty close, and he says it's beautiful.
I have a spinner's hat.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, I think they lost their affiliation.
Yeah, they did.
Didn't
Yeah.
that suck?
Yeah.
That was a nice park.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had a chance to go.
Yes,
up
I
there.
did.
Beautiful little place. But speaking about on the clock, like Vaughn, we're on the clock too. It is 2:57 Pacific time. We're here until 3 o'clock. Get the orders in, folks. The good news is, like I said, Kevin is a ambassador for the toy drive this year. He is going to sign the pictures that I hear, so we're going to put them in our grab bags. But that doesn't guarantee you anything. If you want that Kevin Sullivan 8x10, now is the time to order. Mr. Wonderful, we're trying to raise money for a toy drive. We'll ask Kevin all the questions you want. How about an 8x10? Can you ask how Mark Lewin is doing? Will he ever do an interview?
He's doing fine. He's in Singapore, lives in Singapore.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's it. I didn't know that. So I'm going to guess it would be difficult to get Mark Lewin in to the studio for an interview if he lives in Singapore. I know we ran into that problem with Lanny Poffo. He was supposed to do one of our Retro 80s events, and he moved to Ecuador.
Yeah.
And so we could have private time for his, well, I think you know what he likes to do.
Yeah.
The self-service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He said he was never alone during the quarantine times. All right, folks, we got 2 minutes to go. I'm going to hit refresh on the PayPal. Then Kevin's got to run. Well, he's got high-powered executives taking a helicopter into Las Vegas to meet him. And you guys are going to love the content we produced. Again, we still have one more great episode. Bruiser Brody would have been great with the Slaughterhouse Group with Kevin Sullivan. What was the Slaughterhouse Group?
It was Buzzer, me, and Cactus Jack.
And what territory was that?
Atlanta.
WCW?
Yeah.
So we talking 89?
Yeah.
Okay, so just right after Brody would have passed. All right, folks, again, less than 2 minutes. The countdown is on. It feels like an NBA game, Kevin. We have those 3 beautiful pictures. I'm going to put the link up one more time. Check it out. We want everybody to be happy. Slick Rick B, is Kevin still involved in wrestling on the indies? Well, of course he is.
Yeah. I'm working for SWE Fury. I'm also working for CWF Reload and a host of others.
And he still hasn't had his official retirement match.
Yeah.
I think that's going to have to take place in Boston. All right, folks, 1 minute. Then Kevin's got to go. I don't want him to go. I hope he's going to come back. But I know when you run into so many friends here, it's difficult to try and get away. But then sometimes when you see certain people, it's nice to go away.
Yeah.
I saw a couple last night. I was happy I had the mask on for. But that's a different story for a different time. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up here now. We thank you so much for tuning in. We realize it was kind of an odd time. Usually these cyber signings are a nighttime type thing. But you know what? I want to have Kevin back with us in Boston sometime soon when he is going to be trying to check out, hopefully, the Red Sox in the playoffs in 2021. And just your regular visits. We have so many friends in town. And now you have new friends in town that you can come and hang out with at the TV studio.
Exactly.
All right, folks. Kevin is going to join us again for one more episode taping later on. If you're lucky enough to help our toy drive this year, there's a chance you could get something from Kevin in the grab bags that we do, but not a promise. If you're interested in an autograph photo, you can still place an order, and Kevin can personalize it later on, and I'll still mail it to you. I would have loved to have seen Kevin Sullivan take the fight to Hulk Hogan. He shaved the man's mustache.
Yep, I sure did.
And that must have been on about, what, the 4th or 5th Nitro ever. That
I
was
think it was the 5th.
the fall of 95, yeah. All right, folks, unfortunately, we got to go. We'll be back with more Kevin. If you do want a picture, again, check out that link. Kevin is going to be back with us to tape one more episode, and he can personalize it any way you like. For Kevin Sullivan, I'm Dan Marty. We bid you adieu from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hold on one second.